हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। इफ़ यू आर अ पर्सन जिनको इंटरव्यू या मीटिंग में कुछ भी बोलने से पहले, अपने आइडियाज़ रखने से पहले घबराहट होती है, और कई बार इंटरव्यू या फिर किसी भी मीटिंग से निकलने के बाद यू फील मैं जो बोलना चाहता था या बोलना चाहती थी वो मैं मीटिंग में बोल नहीं पाई। एंड दिस इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स जहाँ पर गैप आता है। So today I have a guest. She is retired DGM of SBI, communication coach, and one of the first teachers I met in SBI. She taught me communication skills. So here is ma'am. Welcome ma'am on my channel. I'm so happy and glad that you are joining my podcast today.
Thank you, Soumya. I'm so glad to be here.
And how's life after retirement and your coaching,
I've
communication
retired
coaching
from
journey?
SBI, but I have not retired. In
Right.
fact, today I am much busier. I'm very much busy. So my day starts from 7 o'clock in the morning and goes on till 9 in the evening. I remain very busy and I'm very happy being busy.
That's so great. It's actually great to hear that even after leaving SBI, you're helping so many professionals to learn how to communicate in a better way. So I'll be asking questions on communications today. So my first question is that although communication is said to be a soft skill, yet it impacts career deeply. Why do you think it's underestimated?
Because it is not taught right from school till college, even in the B schools, even in your organizational training. Uh, People do not teach communication. Only when you come into an organization and you see the difficulties in convincing others, in motivating others, in negotiating a deal, that you realize that this is a key skill which needs to be taught. And we have not taught it because right from the beginning the focus has been on technical skills.
Right,
And therefore, whatever they call it, soft skill or whatever, soft skill does not mean that it is not required. It is called soft because it is not a technical skill, it is an interpersonal skill, it is a human skill. But as a leader, you deal with humans. You need to motivate others, you need to understand others, you need to be able to understand their needs, and you need to convince them of what you want from them.
right.
And all of that takes communication. So the underestimation is only because right from the beginning the focus has been on technical skills. But you know the pain that people feel when they are not able to achieve the growth in their career, when they're now not able to get the promotion they feel they deserve, when they're
Right.
not able to get the income that they deserve, they know that this soft skill is so crucial. In fact, John Adair, who has written innumerable books on leadership, he has written books on leadership, on motivation, on team building. I do not know how many. So he has a series of books. He has one book on communication. And on the cover of that book, he writes the most important managerial skill of all.
Exactly. And you have worked for so long. So, what are the mistakes which you see in professional life people make in the workplaces
Mistakes related to.
related to, like, sometimes over explaining, or it could be not listening to what, because we were in a service, we were in a organization where communication plays such an important part, because you're not communicating just with the employees, you are communicating with customers across all segment of people. Like you're posted in rural, then you're posted somewhere in a very high profile branch. So communication plays a very important role in banking industry.
The
So
biggest thing, sorry, yeah, you please complete yourself.
like sometimes we avoid a lot of things. We don't say what you wanted to say, or we get annoyed, irritated. So what are the mistakes generally people make around in professional life?
The most important thing that we see missing in communication is that we do not realize that communication actually is a two-way process and we are trying to achieve a purpose through communication. And therefore, we forget to listen.
Right.
We are so busy talking about what's in our head. So the lines, let's say there are two train lines coming from two directions, and we are trying to make a railway line. One line comes from this direction, and my line goes from this direction, and both the lines do not meet. So we are working at cross purposes.
Right.
And that happens because of one thing: we do not pause to listen.
So listening also plays a very important part in communication, right?
It's
Now,
not about also. Without listening, there is no
no
communication.
communication, right? So even some of the smartest people in the room, sometimes in meetings, we have seen that they don't communicate. Why do capable professionals struggle to speak?
We have a natural hesitation because we feel that when we speak we'll be judged. लोग क्या सोचेंगे?
Right,
अगर मैंने कुछ बोल दिया तो, और मुझे बहुत लोगों ने मुझे ये कहा है कि मेरी इंग्लिश अच्छी नहीं है, एंड इन इंडिया दैट इज द मोस्ट एक्सेप्टेड ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज, सो अ लॉट ऑफ एंड एवरीवन हैज अ डिफरेंट मदर टंग.
right,
They feel more comfortable in their mother tongue. Therefore, ये English एक, it is more a mental block, because I have seen people who are very fluent speaking very well and in fact confidently according to me, but in their own mind they feel मेरी vocabulary अच्छी नहीं है, मेरी English अच्छी नहीं है, अगर मैं बोलूंगा या बोलूंगी तो लोग क्या सोचेंगे. So that hesitation is what stops people. And the most important step is to realize that that fear, that hesitation is normal, it is common. And I keep saying that even big, big stars like Amitabh Bachchan, stars like Hrithik Roshan, they have been afraid to speak. And Amitabh Bachchan says, even today I'm uh, afraid of the stage. But
right.
so that is the most important step. You know that there is fear, and then you go ahead in spite of the fear.
Correct.
सो वो हर बार जो है ना, वो हेजिटेशन, वो नर्वसनेस होती है, उसके बावजूद आपको आगे बढ़ना है, चलना है, करना है.
And how this impacts career growth and team relationships.
It impacts in every way, in every way. Let me talk about career growth. So many professionals, even senior professionals, and it becomes even more important at senior level, because at junior levels you are promoted because of your technical skills, maybe your performance, and there is still, and the pyramid, there are still a number of positions there, right,
Right,
to fill up. So at the junior level, your interpersonal skills, your communication skills may not be so visible, not so noticeable, but as
right.
you go up, those are very important. So in SBI or in many other organizations, they'll just see, okay, how they've performed in the past, and you get promoted mostly on that account. As you go higher up, the pyramid at the top becomes narrower and narrower. And unless you are differentiated from others, you won't get promoted. Now, many senior top level professionals, they tell me, why should I talk to my boss? Why should I tell them that I want promotion, I deserve promotion, or this is my achievement? And I tell them, how many things do you have on your plate today? And they'll say, I have 100 things on my plate today. And the next question is, how many things do you think your boss has on their plate today? So they'll obviously say that if I have 100, my boss is 200. Then how do you expect that at the crucial time, at the important time, when that decision about promotion has to be taken, your boss, among all the things that they have to do, will remember that, okay, this person, Soumya, or this person, Sunil, has done such wonderful work and they are the person who need to be promoted among so many other. How do you expect them to do that? unless you speak for yourself. Because I have also heard from senior professionals, top level professionals, that they did not get promoted. And after the result, they went and spoke to their boss, why did I get promoted? And then they heard that I didn't know that you wanted promotion. So
So,
when just let me complete. So when
yeah,
I
sure, ma'am.
talked about communication and my GPS community, we have three values: respect, responsibility, and awareness, which are the topmost values for us. And when I talk of responsibility, I say that each one of us owns the responsibility of our lives wherever it is today, without blame on anyone.
Correct.
Because when I am blaming somebody, I am trying to say that the remote control of my life is in somebody else's hand, it is not in my hand. And
Right.
when the remote control is in somebody else's hand, you will never be able to control your life or take it to where you want to take it. So take the responsibility of your own life. If you want promotion, you need to speak up for yourself, because if you don't speak up, who will?
Right, ma'am. So true. And sometimes what happens is that we don't agree with our bosses, or if I'm not happy with because I didn't get the promotion, I want to confront it with my boss, but it's so uncomfortable. And how should a person, because talking to a senior is always more difficult than talking to a junior. So, how can a professional do and confront with boss or seniors with respectfully, all the respect, and tell or place whatever they want to say?
That's a very good question, because the power equation comes into play here.
Right,
We feel that the other person is more powerful, and they do have some power over you, and you feel that you are under their power, and therefore putting your point across becomes a bit more difficult. Yet you can speak up. It is about the way you frame your sentences.
right,
We all put up notes to our bosses, isn't it?
right,
And when we put up notes, we work through the entire content, how we are going to start, what is going to be in the middle, how we are going to convince them, how we are going to end. When you are going to speak to your boss about your promotion or about something important, something going on in a project, some resources that are required, or something that is not going on right and you want it corrected, you need to prepare that speech in your mind, and not only in your mind. I teach people to actually write the points down. In fact, write your entire thing that you want to say, so that when you go and speak in front of them, you will not be searching for words, you will not be at a loss for words, and you will know how to start, how to begin, and how to end. And when speaking to seniors, it's very important. They expect respect, and we have to give respect.
right,
So you have to start with that. Many people forget that bosses are also human beings. Okay. And bosses also like to be praised. Like every one of us likes some praise, something positive said about us. So go and start by saying something positive about them, something wonderful that they have done. There is something good. And then bring their attention to the issue that may be there and talk about it in detail. And whenever you are talking, and I talk about it from the transactional analysis perspective, but I'll not go into the detail, in spite of the fact that they are your senior and they have your power, where communication is taking place, speak as an equal in the concept and the point that you are putting across, and help them think from the logical mind data, and invite their attention to what is happening, what the facts are, and what the solutions, and always go with some possible solutions from your own side, because none of the bosses want to listen to any problem. So if you're going with a problem, also go with possible solutions.
And if suppose, like you took the example that if someone has not got promotions and they want to communicate this to boss. So can you give one example? How can they say this politely and respectfully to the boss?
Um, go to
Just an
them,
example.
go to them and tell them that the boss has appreciated their work so many times and all of this and so, and thank them for that you appreciated this, and this. And then bring the attention to the fact that in spite of all the good work and your appreciation, I have not got my promotion, I've missed it. So, and it would be at this point in time, maybe the decision cannot be reversed, but you can ask feedback from your boss as to what you can do better so
Mhm.
that you get the promotion next time. Always seek feedback. A number of times we look at feedback as something negative,
Right.
but feedback is there to help you. And then the boss will tell you that this is something which I was expecting from you and which did not happen. If you do it this time, maybe, some deal or some interpersonal things, the way you led your team, they will point it out to you and then you can work on that. And don't keep harping back on the past. The past is gone. What you can work on is today and tomorrow.
And how communication is more important in leadership roles. If someone is joining as a manager, whether it is assistant manager, I'm not talking just about the banks, I'm talking about anywhere, any professional who is in any kind of leadership roles. How important is communication for them?
Okay, so in fact, here I would ask you questions. What does a leader do? What are the roles of a leader?
They have to motivate,
Yeah.
organize the
Hmm.
people, the
Hmm.
tasks,
Hmm.
and effectively they have to communicate also so that the task gets done because you have to meet organizational goals.
So simply put, a leader has to give performance, and performance has to be given through the team.
Right.
Simple. How do you ensure that your team knows what the goals are, what the targets are? Tell me in one word. How do you ensure that your team knows what the goals are?
Through communication.
Through communication. Okay. If your team has started doing the work and in between they make mistakes, how do you ensure that they correct those mistakes?
Through communication. It should be two-way
Okay.
communication that you
Now,
listen also.
something is going wrong and then the team's morale has gone down. How do you motivate them? One word.
Communication.
Okay, now the team's morale has come up and they have really done well. Okay, how do you appreciate them? How do you ensure that they feel good about it?
Communication again.
Okay, so you have your answer. And there is that, it is for not for no reason that John Adair says that it is the most important managerial skill of all. And here is a very powerful simile that I give that if you compare an organization to a vehicle, then communication is its lubricant. So
Right.
you might have everything. The engine is there, the tires are there, the entire machinery is there, the body is there, and all the plush interiors are there. But if the the lubricant isn't there, then the automobile, the vehicle will not move. So communication is that which keeps your vehicle moving towards its goal.
And how the physical appearance and tonality of your voice affects communication.
Okay. You you can see, how somebody speaks. Supposing I am looking here, and I'm speaking. I am going on to say, see, your body language is very important for you. You must have a very good body language. Your tonality must have modulation. You must use different pitches. How was this?
It seems like you're not talking to me.
Okay. And when it seems like I'm not talking to you, how do you feel here?
I feel I'm not important.
Okay. And when I am saying it in a flat tone, what does that do to you? Do you feel interested in listening to me?
Not much.
There you are.
So, how can one make small changes in daily life to improve these things in their life?
Listen to some good speakers,
Okay,
try to emulate them. Notice how they're speaking. And what you said about body language and tonality, these are important things. And in face to face communication, research shows that they have even more impact than your words have. So focus on others. Also look at the structure that people are using, how they're connecting to the audience. So follow one or two, maybe two, not one, because you need to have more than one point of reference. Two or three speakers who speak very well. You like the way they speak. And because it is available everywhere, you just go to the net and you see some people who are speaking very well. Try to follow them and try to follow somebody who is in a similar sphere like you. So if you're trying to follow an actor and you are a working professional, the way they speak and you speak will be completely different. So somebody who is closer to you. So
right.
for example, if you're a working professional, look at the way Steve Jobs speaks, for example.
Okay.
So follow some good speakers from your sphere and notice how they speak. Follow them. Just a little bit of following, but it will not happen without practice. So a little bit of conscious practice needs to be involved in communication, because communication is a skill. And until you practice it, that benefit will not come. You will not see the change. So the transformation to happen, you have to practice.
And
Every
one,
day, do something better than the previous day. Every day. So, if today you are speaking on, today you want to improve your body language. So, for some days, keep noticing your body language. Then start working on your tonality, how you're taking your pitch up and down, how you're connecting with people. Next day, think about the structure, how you'll structure your speech, how you'll start, how you'll end, all of that. So, I do a full challenge on communication, at 21-day challenge, and I help people work only on one aspect every day, and by the end of 21 days they're going to be transformed.
that's so great. One more problem which people face in their professional life is asking for help without making other feel that they are incompetent. They don't ask for help because they feel that people will judge them, that they don't know.
This is something to do with our internal communication. Each one of us, every human being needs help in something or the other.
Right.
If you tell yourself that you are incompetent, that is where the problem is. Did your teacher scold you when you asked a question, or did they appreciate you? They always appreciate it, isn't it? All the good teachers always want questions asked. It is the communication that I'm having with myself, telling myself that I am incompetent, I'm not good enough, I already do not. You are making an effort to know, and that is good enough. So,
Right.
communication has two aspects. One is the external word. The external one is where you see what is happening. You have techniques, you have body language, tonality, how you sit and stand, how you structure your speech, and all of that. All of that comes after you dealt with your internal communication, what is going on inside of you.
So, another problem which many professionals feel while working in any professional organization is saying no sometimes to the team members and sometimes to your boss because you have to be very productive in your work. So, how to build that boundary, say no when it is required in a very polite manner.
You've talked of two things: saying no to your team members, to your boss, and boundaries. Boundaries are important in various ways. So I'll first talk about boundaries. Because if you do not create boundaries, you might be impacted by the toxicity around you. So you have to know what is non-negotiable for you, because I have worked with and I've helped professionals say no when they felt that others were undermining them or others were sort of mocking them, making fun of them, or making unfair use of them. So
Right.
that boundary needs to be put there. Saying no to extra requests, that also becomes difficult, because saying yes comes very easily to us, because right from childhood we've been taught that good children say yes. Yeah.
Right.
And you can please people by saying yes. So the natural tendency is to say yes. And when we say no, we blurt our no out with a negative body language and threatening voice. No, no, I can't do this. It'll come out something like that. Then that impacts your relationship and your reputation. Why we are not able to say no is because we are afraid for two things: our relationship and our reputation. But
Correct.
when you say no in the right way, then you can protect both your relationship and your reputation. And of course, apart from that, by creating boundaries, protecting yourself. So, to be able to say no in a right way, you need to take time. So, ask for time or take time consciously. Some extra project is coming your way, tell them, can I get back to you on this tomorrow? And then look at what all you have on your plate and then give a reasoned response. And you may say that, okay, I have these five projects which I'm working on now, and the deadline for these are these days. If I take this sixth project, then the deadline for this one or this one may have to be moved forward. Now tell me, which one can I move forward? So, this is how you can say it. And whenever you are saying no, whenever you are saying no to somebody, whether it is team member or boss, remember that you say it in such a way that you do not hurt the feelings of that person. And one part of it very important is how you look when you say no. As I said, no, I it yeah, it starts impacting your reputation, relationship there and then. So know in your heart and your mind that you can say no with respect towards the other person and with respect towards yourself. That is the key. Once again, coming to the word, the three values of GPS Gold Squad: respect, responsibility, and awareness. So being aware of what it is, where it is going, and how it is impacting me, saying no with complete respect to yourself and complete respect to the other person.
One last question. What would be your advice to all the professional who feel unheard or overlooked in their work or even in relationship? Because ultimately everything depends on communication.
I'll get back to the three values of GPS Gold Squad: respect, respect for yourself, respect the other person. If you respect yourself, you will speak up for yourself. And if
Correct.
you respect the other person, you will say it in such a way that your relationship does not get impacted negatively. Responsibility, because you as an adult can take the responsibility of your life and then you will not blame anyone. So that will not happen. You will not be impacting anyone else's. Awareness, being aware of the situation. Why we are not able to communicate effectively is because some disruptive emotion is impacting us. And therefore, at that point in time, I am not able to give a good response. So, being aware of the situation, what is happening to me inside, my own feelings, and the feelings of the other person. Respect, responsibility, awareness. Keep these as your core values, and you're
Thank you.
taken care of. You're sorted.
Thank you so much for this particular podcast. I've learned a lot. I've been learning since 15, 16 years now because I've attended so many trainings under you. And I hope this podcast will help all the listeners, all the audience who will be watching this podcast today. And I hope this helps in your career and your whatever you wish to do within your organization. This will be a game changer for you. And if you want to contact ma'am, I'll put all the details in the description. Thanks a lot.
I wish all of your listeners and viewers the very best in their career and know that communication can be the game changer for you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.